Remember, you called me first and said that you would like me to do something for the Concerts of Hope series when it was at that time, and you explained the entire brief saying it's all about nature and mostly about environment and how it has been affected, and how the COVID time has actually made us more aware of the environment, because human interaction with the environment has reduced, and the environment is suddenly, you can hear the birds, you can see the greenery, and there is less movement outside. So how has that affected the environment? How has human interaction affected the environment? And how we can do something so that we can actually change the way we live, and change the way we affect the environment, and make our own ways of life a little more eco-friendly and sensitive to the surrounding around us. When Devina approached me, I said, okay, we can do a concert of songs that talk about the environment, but that's of course there. I mean, it's very easy to do that. You can get people to compose songs. You can get so many songs that are already composed by the greats, and many people have actually right from Jayadeva to Shankara to so many, to Tyagaraja, Shama Shastri, Muthuswami Dikshit, Carnatic composers, so many Hindustani bandishes and khayals also talk about the environment. They actually talk about their daily life around the environment, right? And that's something very, very, very natural and easy to do for a musician. So I was thinking, since we are going to do something with first edition arts, and since the production quality is going to be of that level, we thought we can do something with dance. And I always had an idea that I would want to collaborate with a Bharatanatyam artist and curate a certain performance which is not just a kacheri, a Bharatanatyam kacheri that's happening on stage, and it is something more than that. This idea for me comes from my guru, T.M. Krishna Anna, who actually did this kind of he collaborated with Srimati Priyadarshini Govind and had a program called Sayee, for which I also helped with technology for one song actually. So there was a song wherein the music was visually also expressed. So I use signal processing. I'm a signal processing engineer. So I use signal processing to kind of visualize the music with pitch contours and spectrograms and all that. And Priyaka reacted to that when the music was going on. So that was something different, and there are many pieces in that concert, Sayuja, that performance, that it was a collaboration of sorts. So I from that, I got inspired from that, and I wanted to do something which had my ideas and my idea of a collaboration with dance, and my idea of the way in which the music is sung for dance also. So then I pitched the idea to Devina, and she said, yeah, sure, why not, go for it. And the first thing I told her was, let's do it as a group of boys who are doing a Bharatanatyam performance. I had seen a lot of Christopher's work, and I thought it would be really appropriate for me to collaborate with him, and that's how I immediately I actually suggested, before even contacting Christopher, I suggested to Devina that there's this Bharatanatyam artist called Christopher. He's a really good Bharatanatyam artist, and I would like to collaborate with him. She said, give me the go ahead. So I called Christopher, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so yeah, that's how we I started this whole process of collaborating with Christopher, and starting to think about this. So when I explained this to him, the next day he came home with a notebook. Next day he said, okay, this is all, we can do this. These are my ideas. He had an idea that he was trying before this about Krishna walking into the forest after his coming of age. So, and he was allowed to herd the cows after he came of age and take the cows into the forest and all that. So he wanted to do that story for a long time. So after he told me that idea, I was like, okay, let's sleep on it, because I was like, it's in August. Chris was like, it's in August. So then
when was this conversation happening?
February. This was happening in February. All right, and I was like, there are this 5 months. Yeah, cover March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, 5 months. So then I was like, it's 5 months away. Let's aram se think about it in summer. Then it was like, no way. By summer, I want to get rehearsing. I was like, okay, fine. So I was also thinking about it. Next day, I called him and I was like, you know what? Let's make the theme as the forest. Like, let's make the forest as the overarching theme and not the forest as the centerpiece. The forest was supposed to be the centerpiece. And one more thing was, he always wanted to do a Ragam Tanam Pallavi as a dance item. And to weave that into dance is something that is very interesting. And he had never done that, and I also caught on to that because I want to sing a Ragam Tanam Pallavi. I love singing Tanam, I love singing a Pallavi, love singing Naraval. So I also caught on to that, and I said, let's make the entire theme forest. So it's not one piece as the centerpiece, but the entire piece is a huge piece which we actually sing in parts, and it's one full thing. So the concert from start to end is one piece which has different parts. Then we thought about it and said, you know what, this may not work, but then the theme as a forest is nice. And we wanted a negative aspect to it wherein we are affecting the environment adversely. And we wanted a hope aspect to it wherein if we mend our ways, this thing will come. And we wanted a positive aspect to it where is how nature enriches us. So then we thought that, okay, we can do this. Let's weave a story around it. Krishna enters the forest of Vrindavan and the forest welcomes him. He had this beautiful idea where Krishna walks in and the trees bow down to him. The flowers, there's a shower of flowers, there's a bed of flowers that happens and he's walking in. And new shoots that come up, the birds are chirping, the bees are happy. So that's the reaction of the forest to Krishna. Happy reaction of forest to Krishna entering. So we thought, okay, let's weave the Pallavi around that. And after that, we said we need a negative aspect. Then he said there's an Ashtapadi in which Krishna is pining for his love, and everything that welcomed him in the forest now attacks him. He feels like it's attacking him because he's in pain that he can't be with his lover. So I said that's brilliant. That's where the turn happens. And after that we wanted something of hope. So we thought that we'll have the last piece, the Thillana, as a very sprightly, nice, bright ragam, which kind of brings about hope. This is how we kind of came up with the entire overarching story. The first thing that I spoke to Krishna, he's like, let's go for Sudarshini, for sure. That's his go-to. So we had Sudarshini. Then we just spoke about it. We decided we always wanted to work with Sumesh, and Sumesh is a great friend of mine, and he's played so many concerts for me. So we said, all right, let's go with Sumesh. And then we wanted a violinist, and I said, okay, let's go with Sayee Rakshith. Because just before that, I had also heard him play for a few dance performances, and he had also worked on arranging music for so many projects, and we wanted to make our own music also for this project. So we said, okay, let's go with Sayee Rakshith. It'll be really nice. So we went with Sayee Rakshith. So that's how the team got formed. So the first piece that we did, the lyrics were given by Sudarshini. Sudarshini's great-grandfather is Sudananda Bharati. He is a great poet, composer. There are many songs of his that have been tuned by great musicians. So we got his verses called Shuddha Shakti Turakam. So we got those verses. That's basically talking about how the genesis of the forest happens and how Devi is the genesis of the forest. It envisions the forest as a form of Devi. We basically sat for about 7 hours thinking of how to place the words. Then Sayee Rakshith and I got together on a call on Zoom, and we kind of tuned the words and added some swarams and all. Sayee Rakshith, of course, added his own twists beautifully with some other embellishments and all that. Sudarshini came up with the jatis, and we interspersed the jatis with the music, and it was a beautiful piece. I mean, we really love that piece now. So that's how that piece came up. The Ragam Tanam Pallavi, we knew what we wanted. I am not adept in any language to be composing words. We thought we'll have this in Sanskrit. Okay. So after having this, after we decided we'll have this in Sanskrit, I said let's approach Sriram Kumarana, and Chris was also like, all right, let's go for it. So I approached Sriram Kumarana. We both of us got on a call with him and explained to him what we wanted and what is the thing. Christopher had two shlokas from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about Krishna coming of age. That is the Kavivakyam. One is called the Kavivakyam, which is the narration of how Krishna came of age and they allowed him to herd the cows, and how he entered Vrindavanam. So there's a line, Padair Vrindavanam Punyamativa Chakratuhu. So that he goes into the forest. And the next is how Tanmadhava Venu Mudiren, how he goes in the forest, plays the flute, how he calls all his friends saying, come, let's go. And so he already had that in mind. So we thought that we will do the Ragam Tanam Pallavi as a Virtam Tanam Pallavi. Virtam is also an exposition of Ragam, but with lyrics. It's a freelance exposition of Ragam with lyrics. So we explained the slokam to Sri Ram Kumar. We showed him the sloka and we told him this is the canto from which we picked the sloka and this is what we are talking about. Sri Ramana took some time and came up with this beautiful idea of different aspects of the forest reacting to Krishna. So the Pallavi basically is divided into two parts, Purvangam, Uttarangam. The Purvangam is basically saying Swagatam Krishneti Mudahvayanti. Okay, we are welcoming Krishna. Paramanandena Paramstuvanti. With great happiness we are singing his praise. The second half changes with changes in raga. First is trees reacting, Padapaha. Second is flowers reacting, Sumani. Third is deer reacting. Then we have bees reacting. We have the peacock reacting, and we have the cuckoo bird reacting. So so the Pallavi is not one line now. The Pallavi is multiple lines. And with multiple raga changes, multiple word changes. It was beautiful the way he composed, came across. First, he gave us 15 options. We had flowers, tree, flowers, bees, creepers, deer, cow, water. We had all. He gave us 12 or 13 options actually, out of which we picked a few. One day I'm going to sing all the 13. So Sri Ramana for sure. So that was a beautiful Pallavi, and we started working on it in a way, and you'll hear the piece when you hear it. It's interspersed with jatis. We approached people to make the jatis, and we interspersed it with jatis. So Sayee Rakshith and I sat together and tried and we wanted to compose the piece in a way, set it in a way that we have all the aspects of the Ragam Tanam Pallavi coming, interspersed with the dance aspects. So that was one day where all of us sat together. Sumesh also was there, and Sumesh told us that you can sing swarams for one part, you can have Neraval in one part, you can have slow swarams in one part, you can have slow Neraval in one part, and all of us just sat together and decided where we'll sing what, which aspect we'll show in which part. And 2 days before the shoot, we decided Sudarshini and all of us will also do an exchange in the middle of the Pallavi. And we had that, and the Pallavi has come out beautifully, I think. And Chris has done an amazing job. We sat for about 5 months and we came up with all the pieces that we are doing, and it was great. I mean, we had so many arguments, so many fights, so many so many nice moments where we all sang together, all sat together and sang the piece, and it was just beautiful. We said, yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Let's go on to the next piece. Another thing was the last piece. The Tillana is composed by Arun Prakash, K. Arun Prakash, Mridangam artist. I wouldn't call him a Mridangam artist. He's a musician. I mean, really, he's amazing. So when we told, Chris and I got onto a call with Arun Prakash and told him, we want this. And Chris and I actually told him, can you please compose this in Kannada? Because we had thought that Kannada is a nice, very hopeful ragam. So we said, and he said, Kannada, Tillana, I don't know how it will be. Okay, I'll compose it. And there he was with the Tillana in 2 days. It was amazing. Another thing, he told me, will you tune the Ashtapadi? I said, okay, I'll try. And then we thought about ragas. We were like, let's go for, Ahiri, Kapi, and all that. Then I was like, we wanted to be like completely and truly hopeless. Like, what the hell is happening? I mean, really, I don't want to live anymore. That kind of a hopeless situation, right? Our WhatsApp group is called Hopeless Situation, by the way. So that we kind of. Then I again for that I spoke to Arun Prakash and I told him, what, this is what it is, and I want to tune it and I want to do this. He said, okay, just give me the words, give me 2 days, and he came up with the most beautiful tune in Keeravani. which is unlike any Keeravani that you would have heard in any Kirtanam. Okay, so he actually sang this Ashtapadi for us from his office. He was sitting on his desk signing files. He put his recorder on. He sang the Ashtapadi and sent it. He just sang. So tune happens for him. He doesn't sit and think about it. The tune happens for him. Yeah, but I sang it with Chris, and he was like, "This is mind blowing. Let's just go for it." And we brought in our own twist of, with him dancing. He told me how he wanted it to be sung and what speed, and how he wanted the Sancharis to go. Sanchari is where we do freelance singing of the actually composed tune and bring our own flavor of the ragam and the emotion that the Bharatanatyam artist is also expressing. So we kind of made that into a piece that is there. And Chris will talk about Janaro when he talks about it. So yeah, one more piece is Janaro that Chris is going to talk about. But yeah, I always wanted to sing that Javali. Janaro is a Javali in the Raga Kamas. And and Chris also always wanted to do it, so I said, all right, why not? And that's one of my favorite Javalis. It's immortalized by T. Vishwanathan sir, the great flautist and musician. And I've heard it so many times sung by my guru also, and I wanted to sing it. So I said, okay, let's go for it. And from there we needed actually a plot twist. That is a love song, and we needed a plot twist to something that is completely hopeless. We are singing the Ashtapadi after that. So all the viewers, we'll have 3 songs which are going to be very soothing. It's going to be slow, but please patiently listen to it. It's going to be amazing. The story behind it is that you have the love song in nature, where the nature is so beautiful, and you just want to be in nature and in love, and then you completely turn. There is a piece which goes into complete hopelessness. So that turn we wanted, and that's where Sumesh and Sayee come in, and their brilliance also comes in. We told them we want a piece which changes from Kamas to that hopelessness in Keeravani. And Sumesh also, we told him, we have the solo piece, Sumesh's solo piece over there, and that will turn from happy to hopeless, dark. And Sumesh and Sayee sat together and worked it out completely, brilliantly came up with we shot that, and it brilliantly came up with that turn over there, percussive turn and melodic turn, with both of them coming in together, and that's where the plot turns. We have the Ashtapadi, then we have a piece where we actually pray to the goddess and say, I'm in a complete hopeless situation. I don't know what to do. I need you to come and help me now. So Devi Brova Samyamide is Shama Shastri's song that happens there. Actually, there's a story behind this song where he was going to go into a competition the next day with Bobbili Keshava Iyer, a great musician of the 17th century, 17th and 18th century. He had challenged the court musicians of Tanjavur, and Shama Shastri was, and everybody was like, no, we cannot compete with this man. But then they told Shama Shastri, and Shama Shastri was told to compete with him, to sing Pallavis. He was also scared, and he was also a little perturbed by this. So he goes home. The story is that night he came up with this raga Chintamani. The raga didn't exist before that. He came up with the raga, he came up with the composition, Devi Brova Samyamide. This is the time you have to help me. It's not going to help me if you say you're going to come tomorrow and help you. Repu mappani cheppite nevinanu. No, you cannot tell me that you're going to come tomorrow and help me. You have to help me now. You have to help me now. So that's what the composition is. And we thought it was really apt at that point in time after the Ashtapadi. Then from there it leads up to hope. So yeah, that's what happened. And this is not like any other kacheri for me also, because I have to be very mindful of what I am singing, because it's not just me singing. It is Christopher also dancing to it. And I have to be very mindful of what I sing, because he cannot, it's very difficult otherwise for the Bharatanatyam artist. So yes, it is very different from a kacheri, normal kacheri, where I have the full freedom to do what I want. But here I play the role of collaborating with somebody, and that is a very different experience, and that's been a great learning experience for me. Working with this entire team has been an amazing learning experience for me as to how to actually collaborate with somebody. So I have to talk about the place. The place is a beautiful place called Base in Kodaikanal. It's a yoga retreat by a great person and a very, very senior yoga teacher, Mr. Sriram, who actually lives in Germany, and his wife Angelica. She's a Bharatanatyam artist also. And they have this beautiful place over here. He's a great yoga teacher who's learned directly from Krishnamacharya and Deshikacharya. So I know of him because of my friend's mother, Jyotsna auntie. She also taught me yoga. So I know of Sriram uncle because of her, and I asked her for a place. She immediately said there's a beautiful place that Sriram uncle has, and why don't you ask him? So I asked him, and he immediately agreed. It was so sweet of him to say immediately, yes, please take it. We'll just see the dates when it clashes with somebody else or no, and you take it. And I must mention Varun, who really helped us to navigate this place and arranged everything over here. And the best part about this place, the place is beautiful, yes, of course. Best part about this place is everyone who takes care of this place. There is Manimegale Akka with the brilliant food. I mean, while I was Christopher and I came for the first recce, we were blown away. And on the way of like every time we spoke about this place to everybody, we were like, the food is amazing. You have to come here. And Chitravel Anna, who filled us up with fruits and vegetables and everything when we went back the first time we came for the recce. And he's here helping us all around, doing everything. We have Clinton Anna, we have Prende Anna, we have everybody who came here to help. We have Manimegale Akka, we have Jairani Akka, so many. So everybody over here is so sweet, so welcoming, so what can I say? There's a Tamil word which I cannot actually translate. Pasam. That's something that they all have to all of us, and they beautifully they just treated us over here. That's all. It was a treat to be here. So yeah, this whole experience was amazing, and please do watch it. It's going to be one of a kind for sure from what I see, and it's been a one of a kind experience for me too, singing in these beautiful settings. While it has been difficult also because we had to trek for everything. Just to take my bag, I have to trek down and trek up. So yeah, but it's been amazing. So thank you, Devina. Thank you, first editioners. Thank you, Pepi, and thank you, Lubdagda, Ankur, Soham, and Ajay and Subhajit. Thank you so much.